Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and it is the dawn of the final Fan Friday. As we get into this battle, I'm trying to make my mind up about this team. Like, what do you do with a Muk and a Parasect? Where's your win condition? Where's your kill potential? How does it work? I like the idea, though. I love the idea of seeing the Parasect. Believe it gets Rage Powder, does have Spore, can be effective, so we're going to see what the Parasect brings to the double battle. Cherish Ball on the Umbreon. What kind of event is that? Something. So Drought on the Ninetales is going to be pretty harsh. Parasect with the Wide Guard. I like it because that keeps Muk safe from Earthquake and it keeps Parasect safe from Heat Wave. So against the Drought Open, going to stop it out completely. And Toxic going to go onto the Parasect. So Parasect going to be taking a bit of that residual damage, but overall that's going to be yes! Oh my goodness! I mentioned this once, or actually a couple times, how Poison Gas does have some good competitive potential because hits both opponents. So now you have both opponents poisoned. That's some Hex follow through. That's Venoshock. That's some, I think, Venom Drench. Like you lower their stats with that. So this could be a pretty big play right here. So I mean, we get the Wide Guard, which protects for the free poison, and that's going to be another Wide Guard. So Ninetales completely getting locked out of this. Most likely, if it's carrying the Heat Wave, has has the Solar Beam. Maybe a Psychic move, maybe Energy Ball. I don't know. So it's not going to have too much else. And there's the Venom Drench. So what does Venom Drench drop? I thought it was like defenses or something. Attack, special attack, and speed. So Venom Drench is going to hurt them offensively and reduce a lot of their power. So that's going to be just silliness right there. A lot of the poison damage, it's also going to be pretty balanced for a while, that it's doing an 1/8 for 2 turns. So right now, we're on pace for being as much toxic damage, so if you can really convert it quickly, Poison Gas is better than Toxic if you're just going for the KO. So Parasect going to be taking that poison damage as well, and Ninetales realizing can't really do too much, so Ninetales is going to switch out, and Lucario comes in. Parasect went for the Rage Powder this turn as well. I don't think Lucario is going to get much out of this. So there's another Venom Drench. Actually, you can't really do too much to Lucario anyway, as a Steel-type Pokemon won't get poisoned. So that's just going to be attack, special attack drop. That Umbreon has no damage potential whatsoever at this point, doing almost nothing to Parasect. Muk healing up everything that's been done to it with that Black Sludge. And Lucario, he's resisted pretty heavily by these Pokemon right here. So we're going to see if it's Mega Lucario or not, and it's just going to be regular Lucario throwing out the close combat. That's going to hit Parasect for a little bit of damage, not enough to take it out though. That is going to drop Lucario's defenses. So what is Muk going to do? Muk's going to use Acid Armor. It's now becoming a huge physical Pokemon, just physically bulky, and that's a Spore. So there's the Spore. It realized, you know, I'm going to tank up these hits. Nothing's threatening right now. The Venom Drench just leads into that Spore opportunity for Steel-type Pokemon. That's pretty solid right there. Psychic on the Muk. Not doing much, and I'm still trying to figure out the win condition, because, I mean, like, Muk can have Fire Punch? Power Punch? Well, actually, I don't see the Power Punch if you're doing all this status work right here. So, the stall and the status aspect is working very strong, that we're getting a lot of poison down, we're just getting some really good things shutting down Pokemon. So now we're going to see if Muk goes for the damages right now. I mean, oh, Acid Armor again, so really just going for that stall. I think it might have Gunk Shot or something then. I think having a Fire Punch on this Muk, 99% sure that it learns that to deal with the psychic, or to deal with the steel types, is going to make this very powerful, because then you could just be beating up on this Lucario the whole time while he's asleep, not worried about any damage whatsoever. And finally Parasect goes down. Maybe that's where the win condition comes in. You wait for Parasect to go down, but then it's done enough support. You bring in Gyarados. Gyarados is going to Intimidate, further dropping the stats of these Pokemon. So now Lucario going to be in a pretty bad situation, and Gyarados is going to get free Dragon Dance here. Now, if Lucario doesn't wake up, still going to be pretty scary. If it does wake up, still pretty scary. So Lucario's asleep, Gyarados gets that Dragon Dance off, and now we're going to start seeing some damage. So Muk gets that Acid Armor, and now Muk max on that defense. If any physical Pokemon come in, not going to do anything. Umbreon can counter out the Poison Stall with the Moonlight for now. So here is the drawback to Toxic, but again, there's another Pokemon poisoned, and there is damage being done. So you just use it to help improve your setup. And then you use the chip damage from like a +1 on the Dragon Dance to finish off. So this could maybe work. There's the Mega Gyarados. So Mega Gyarados with the Dragon Dance. I guess staying in the normal form because you don't want to Mega Evolve and then eat a close combat. That's not fun. So Gyarados is going to break the mold. Not really going to do too much right there. And there's Shadow Sneak. So Muk does have at least a neutral hit against Steel-type Pokemon. That would be pretty solid. Into the Waterfall. So the +1 onto Lucario and all of that, it's going to KO. So right there, okay, so we're already up 1. So we're 1 for 1, actually. Umbreon's doing some damage, got that Toxic down, has taken some damage as well. So Umbreon's playing those stall aspects, doesn't have anything offensive to do. Ninetales is at a severe disadvantage against Gyarados. Sun could come in, but I still feel like the +1 on the Waterfall could be pretty threatening. And there's also Greninja. So Greninja going to come in and just see how it goes. So Gyarados with the speed boost isn't enough. Actually, Gyarados still outspeeds. So going for another Dragon Dance, just making sure going to one-shot the Greninja. And what is Muk going to do? Muk? He's got something up his sleeve. So that's going to be an Ice Beam onto the Gyarados. Gyarados going to resist that pretty well. Not very effective hit. And Muk's going to Poison Gas. So going to get that poison across. Breaks potential sashes. Going to be that damage over time. And it will help out at the end of the turn if Greninja doesn't get destroyed anyways. Like, we're still looking at outspeed. So Waterfall's going to outspeed. Because that Ice Beam's going to be a neutral hit. Greninja most likely going down. This is a long, this battle's in it for the long haul, but it looks like it's still a very successful idea. So that's going to be Greninja coming in and getting eaten up by the Waterfall, so that's a KO. We know that Ninetales is already taking some poison damage, Venom Drench going to just keep power down, and even with the Waterfall, so the Fire halves the damage of water, but then the super effective doubles it again at that +2. Really, the big Pokemon takeout is going to be the Umbreon. Does have that tankiness, does have the stall aspects. Might be a little frustrating. Especially if it wants to protect. So Gyarados, Toxic, doing a good amount of damage to it, but Gyarados still in a pretty... Sorry about that. I had to hiccup. Still in a solid situation. There's a lot of talking going on in this game. And that's going to be Ninetales. So Ninetales has Drought. And we already talked about this, so we're still going to see that Waterfall. Or Earthquake. We'll just see an Earthquake. And because the Acid Armor from Muk not going to take too much. Even with that +2, tanks it up really well. Does serious damage to the Umbreon. Ninetales gets finished off as well. And now finally we get to see a chink in the armor of this Umbreon. So it can like protect and stall out the game, or it can just go down like a man to the Waterfall. And that's it. Well, maybe an Earthquake. I think Waterfall's still more damage. I don't know. Sun, Stab, craziness, split damage, math. I don't want to talk about the math for it. We're just going to see Gyarados take a little bit more poison damage, but also there's another Pokemon. So, I mean, Gyarados goes down to Toxic, Umbreon moonlights it up. Muk is still going to be in a good situation to at least win out, and the opponent forfeits right there. So that's it. Working to beat the opponent, and we all decided Jolteon for some good damage and speed follow-up. So, Parasect Muk works. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys had a great week, great weekend. I hope you all have a nice day.